Hello everyone, in this video we are going to explore the difference between note-taking and note-making. First, let's talk about note-taking. So note-taking is what we can do to capture information from the outside world. So basically everything that we come into contact with and that is inspiring to us, because that's the point. You want to take notes for things which are interesting, which are things that you want to learn about, things that you want to retain, remember, things that inspire you, basically anything that you encounter that you want to make sure to be able to come back to at some point in time. So taking notes is really about capturing outside information, so stuff that you come across that you think, yeah, this is something I want to remember, something that I care about, something that I find inspiring, something that I want to come back to at some later point in time. And that's actually it. Note-taking is really about capturing information. It's not information that you have produced yourself, but things that you come across. And there are many examples where you want to take notes. So note-taking is really all about capturing information from the outside world. That's the case when you want to remember things, but also when you want to be able to come back to information that you've encountered. Reading non-fiction books, while reading articles on the web, anything that you come across and that you think, this is something I care about, I should take note of it. It's stuff that I find inspiring and I want to come back to inspire myself and come up with new ideas and explore further. If you don't take notes, then basically you are relying on your brain, and science tells us that it's not the best idea because the brain is not so reliable. We can remember information, we can train ourselves to remember things, just like we did when we were kids. The thing is that the brain is not reliable. We will forget a lot of what we try to memorize. It will not always be easy to access the information that we've stored in our brains, because sometimes it's just not accessible. Like, you know the surname of someone, but for some reason when you need to tell it to someone else, then you can't remember it. And it happens to all of us. That's why I choose not to rely too much on my brain and instead use note-taking tools where I can store my information safely. And I can back it up, which is not possible with my brain either. At least I didn't find a way to do so far. When we take notes, usually we condense the information because there's not enough bandwidth for us to record everything, and it doesn't make sense. Most of the time there is noise, and when we take notes, what we want is capture the signal, the useful information in what we hear. Another aspect where taking notes is really useful is that the fact that when we capture the notes ourselves, we are also able to add our own thoughts about the material. So let's say that we are following a course and we are learning about something interesting. While we take the notes about the subject, we can add our own point of view to the information we capture. We might say, okay, this is interesting, but I'm not too sure about it. I need to check it out. I need to check it up. I need to check some additional references, do some more research to understand more of the subject matter. Or maybe I have contrarian ideas and I think that, I don't agree with what is being said here, and I want to take note of my thoughts so that I can further explore those later on. Taking notes is a great opportunity for us to connect the new information that we are acquiring with the mental models and knowledge that we already have in our brains. It's a perfect opportunity to do that. Taking notes is fantastic because it will help you be more reliable. So when I attend meetings, I always have a notebook with me and my pen, and I always take notes. They don't have to be digital, that's not so important, but the mere fact that I'm there focused and taking notes makes it so that at the end of the meeting I have captured what was important during the discussions. I know which subjects were covered, which decisions were taken, which actions were decided, who is responsible for what. And believe me or not, but in companies, most of the time this is not the case. Many people don't bother taking notes. They just come in and discuss, and they are not prepared, and they come out without much information retained, and they cannot tell you what happened in there. And they are missing out. The simple fact of taking notes will help you get to the next level, and it does make a difference. Let's focus now on note-making. Note-making is not about capturing information from the outside, but about expressing what's inside of us. It's about expressing our thoughts, our ideas, our feelings, everything that we have inside and that we would like to share with the external world. Not necessarily others, but also ourselves. When we take time to take our thoughts and ideas out of our brains and onto paper, in digital or paper form, whatever, we just express a part of ourselves. We express our knowledge, we express our feelings, we express our emotions, and that's a great way to explore the way we work, to explore what we know and what we don't know, to find out the gaps in the knowledge that we have. So it's a way to know ourselves better, but also to be able to express and share what we have inside with others. So note-making is really complementary to note-taking. Note-taking is about inspiration, it's about capturing knowledge and ideas, and note-making is about mixing all of that with what we already know and express it in some way that is useful either to ourselves or to others. So note-making is really a creative activity. So whenever I have the opportunity to write things down, I take it because it's something that I find really enjoyable. Whether it's about my daily journal, taking notes for new articles, writing some ideas down, writing ideas for a project that I'm working on, thoughts that I have, the emotions, expressing the gratitude for the good times I had during the day, no matter how small. So journaling, reviewing, expressing, finding out what I think about some topics, what I know about some topics, what I don't know. These are all things that I do thanks to note-making, and that make my day more enjoyable. And looking back also, when I have a journal and I just go back through the entries, so let's say that I look back 1 year ago, what I was working on, what I was thinking, the challenges that I faced. It's always good to be able to look back in that way. And if you don't write things down, then it's something that you cannot easily do. Again, you are just relying on your brain and on your memory. And it's flaky, it's not reliable, so why not take notes? And so the best of both worlds is actually combining note-taking and note-making. You take notes to capture information that you come across, things that inspire you, and by doing so you're memorizing stuff, you're enabling your future self to look back and to explore and to research and to compare or just enhance the ideas you have and the knowledge you have. And when you are making notes, you are capturing what's inside, what you are thinking, what you are wanting to express and share with others. That's it for this video. I hope that you found it useful and that you have a clear view about the difference between note-taking and note-making. The value of both, because both are valuable activities. One is way more creative than the others. But still, note-taking is really valuable and something that you should integrate in your habits, daily habits, just together with note-making.